Hey people, it is Thursday, the 23rd of October. The time is 4:47 in the afternoon, and it's about 11 degrees Celsius and quite overcast, and looks like it could rain at any moment. Hopefully it won't. I'm standing here on Sherbourne Street, just a bit south of Gerrard Street East, and we got some construction on both sides of the street. Here on the east side of downtown, in the Garden District / Cabbage Town area, sort of on the boundary between the two neighborhoods here. I believe this building will be about 18 stories when it's completed, and this one here will be 21 stories. And I can watch both of these buildings being built out of my apartment window. I just live a stone's throw away from here. I'm going to take a walk around a few other spots here on the east side, including doing an update on another building that's being torn down. I've been going past there a few times recently, keeping track of the progress, and I think now it's actually well on its way to being demolished. Last time I checked up on it, it was pretty still intact. You can see the One Bloor West building towering off in the distance there. Its crown is being worked on right now. That will take it up to its full height, 308.6 meters, 85. And I actually feel some raindrops coming down now. Wouldn't you know it? When I left, I was like, should I bring my umbrella? And I saw blue sky sort of poking through here and there. And I was like, I don't know. I think it probably won't rain. Well, I guess that's what I get for gambling. But as I was saying before the sirens interrupted me, last time I checked up on the apartment building that was about to undergo demolition, it was still pretty largely intact. But I think now it's well on its way to being demolished, so I thought I'd go and take a look at it before it's completely gone. And hopefully the rain doesn't get any harder than this. So we're going north up Sherbourne. Definitely miserable weather we've had the last couple of days. I guess it's just seasonable autumn weather for the most part. Cool and gloomy. Maybe I can use this bag in my pocket to shield my camera from the rain. That might do it. Look kind of silly, but gotta keep this camera dry. It's not waterproof. Just using a cloth folded up Fresco bag here. Because you guessed it, I am planning to make a stop at the Fresco grocery store after I record the video. And these buildings are also slated to be redeveloped. I think they're going to retain them for the most part, the facades and that sort of thing. I guess they're considered historic enough. That one is completely abandoned and boarded up. That project has been in limbo for quite a long time though. Okay, I think the rain stopped for now. That works for me. Oh, and this is interesting. Amelia Earhart lived on this location in the St. Regis Hotel, 1917 to 1919. Of course, the St. Regis Hotel is no longer standing. It's an apartment building here now. Spent 2 whole years in the city. That's a pretty lengthy amount of time, I think. Can somewhat claim her as a quasi-Torontonian, I guess. And no one knows whatever happened to Amelia Earhart. Here's the Phoenix. It's a live music venue. It's also slated to be redeveloped. That was pushed back, so the Phoenix is remaining open for the time being. They will relocate to a new space eventually, though. Looks like these old apartments are not slated to be redeveloped, not as of yet anyway. The building that's being torn down is on Isabella Street, and that street is set to undergo a huge transformation with new towers in the coming years. Alright, the dark clouds have moved on for the most part. These ones look less threatening. So we're kind of on the boundary between the St. Jamestown neighborhood over there and the Church-Wellesley neighborhood over on this side. And walking past something that smelled really good, and that's what it was. Crossing Wellesley. Got a library branch serving St. Jamestown and the surrounding area. Community center. And the towers of St. Jamestown. There are some new towers popping up over here as well. One is under construction, one is just wrapping up construction, right next door to the one that's under construction. So the east side is growing up quite a bit. Some awesome church. Gotta love that dome. Almost looks like a government building, some sort of capitol or something. Our Lady of Lourdes. So there's the fresco, so obviously I'm not going there right now. But you can see up ahead. A new building on the rise, another newly completed one beside it. And looking into Canada's most densely populated neighborhood there, St. Jamestown. But let's head west here. This is Earl Street. This is a very charming residential side street. That squirrel has found himself a nut to store away. Or whatever they find. Got the old historic townhomes on one side of the street and some modern townhomes on the other side. Guys playing some jazzy tunes. So we're going to head west, almost to Yonge, I think, and then I'll make my way on to Isabella to check out what's left of that apartment building. I just really want to capture this thing while it's in the midst of being torn down, just for posterity's sake. The building wasn't really anything to write home about. It's just an old 1960s era apartment building of about 14 stories. Kind of similar in design to this one, just not quite as tall. That one's more like 20 stories or so. And there are literally dozens and dozens of them in this part of downtown.
You're welcome. Take care. I won't. I got you. See you later. Thanks.
And it's being torn down because, as you probably guessed, it's being replaced with a new building, a much taller building of around 62 stories, I believe. And these townhomes here aren't even that old. They're probably only from the 90s, I'm guessing. And they're already slated to be torn down and redeveloped with more tall towers. Right, Jarvis Street. And now the sun is coming out. So maybe my gambling to decide not to bring the umbrella actually was the right thing to do after all. I did technically get rained on for about 5 minutes, but just barely. I'm not sure why I'm not getting a walk signal here. I'm just going to go. Maybe I have to press the button. Yeah, it already turned red. No, I think this is Gloucester Street. The name changed once we crossed Jarvis. Alright, we're at Church. So if I'm not mistaken, the building being torn down is just directly north of here. I think I just caught a glimpse of it there. So let's head up to Isabella Street. First we'll take a look south. You can see Sky Tower popping up way down at the foot of Yonge Street there at Queen's Quay. And we have this cluster here. We're kind of at the boundary between Church-Wellesley and Bloor-Yorkville. Right, Isabella. All right, now here is what it looks like now. It's still, I think, at its full height on this side, which is about 14 stories. But I think from the other side, you can see it's being torn down. And some of the top is gone now too. Looks like they've hacked away maybe at least one level from the top, maybe. It's completely gutted, obviously. Just an empty shell right now. You can see another tall tower is proposed for this site across the street of 69 stories. Sort of incorporating these two old historic apartment buildings. So they won't be torn down. Doesn't look like they're actively demolishing it at the moment, though. I'm not sure if they're done for the day. Oh yeah, from the other side you can see they've really torn down quite a lot of it, actually. Look at that. Looks like most of the demolition is taking place from the north side of the building. Well, it's still got a pretty big presence for now, but in a matter of weeks, it will probably be completely gone. And then hopefully it won't take too long for construction to start on the new building. I always find it annoying when they tear down a building and then sometimes wait years to start construction of the new building, leaving an ugly empty lot there in the meantime. Let me see if I can get another look from across the street. The trees are in the way. I think from further back, maybe. It's hard to get a sense of the extent of the demolition. And this isn't the first time something like this has been done in the city, obviously. It's becoming quite common to tear down rather large buildings that aren't all that old, really, and then have them be replaced with much larger buildings. I wonder if that'll happen to the Rogers head office someday. I think a company of Rogers' size and standing should have a much more impressive head office than that. Like a super tall office tower designed by a well-known architect. Rogers has several buildings in this area. Not just this one here. There's one right next door also. There's also another one just up at Bloor Street, another block north. Not sure if they consolidated all of their various offices together. They could build a pretty big single office building. Okay, from here now, you can sort of get a look at the progress of the demolition there. Almost looks like an ancient ruin, actually. We're walking past an architecture firm right here, actually, that designed some pretty nice buildings in the city. Some of the nicest ones, in my opinion.
Anybody got butane? Butane. I need some butane.
Another interesting building there. Isabella Street is not purely residential, as you can see. And we're almost back at Sherbourne Street. And the Freshco is right at this intersection, more or less. Unfortunately, a lot of people around here are obviously struggling. We passed a spot back there and had all sorts of people hanging around doing things, and you can probably figure out what they were doing. There's that new building with the crane next door for another new one about to start rising. And several more towers are proposed for this whole area here along Isabella and along Sherbourne. Most of them are 60 plus stories in height. I'm going to start to wrap up the video as I'm at the Freshco once again. I hope you enjoyed the walk around the east side, checking out some of the new developments going up, but mostly I just wanted to check out that building coming down to make way for another new development. I'll try to get another look at that building before it's completely gone. Leave a comment down below if you enjoyed the walk on this sort of windy, somewhat blustery fall day here. Let me know your thoughts, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Also, make sure you hit that notification bell. That way you won't miss any of my videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal as well as via my merch store. Or you can also support the channel by becoming a channel member or by sending a super thanks if you prefer. And you can find me on Instagram also under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and thanks to all the channel members. And be sure to keep checking back, because as always, I will continue.